This is the last installment of a series of 8 videos where we've been showing how Interact AS is being used by educators to remove communication barriers. As I've been working on these videos, I've been talking here for the last hour or so, I've been thinking about all the various capabilities that I haven't had a chance to show you. And so I'm just going to step through these real quick. And so let's start over with the User tab on the far left of this ribbon interface here. And what that's all about is it gives you the ability to save your preferred settings. So let's say, for example, in a given school building, you have this software installed on 4 different laptops, and those laptops are being shared by a lot of users. What you can do is save your preferred settings in what we call a user configuration. And so if you've noticed, I've been using these various configurations with RDP and then a language after it. So RDP is my initials, and so if I wanted to have a conversation with somebody who spoke Mandarin Chinese, what I would do is click on this user configuration, and up's going to come all my preferred settings. So in my case, a male voice. I tend to talk a little faster, so I like a fast cadence. And in this case, the Mandarin language pair is going to be automatically loaded for me. The point being, it's very easy for multiple people to be able to share a given system, and that's all done for you with this user tab. Jumping back over to the Translate tab, we've spent quite a bit of time here. One thing that I did not do, though, I apologize, in the last video sequence, I should have done this. But if you, after you've created this transcript of your IEP meeting or used your voice to generate, to dictate a document, or perhaps that student in the classroom, and the student now has the transcript of everything the teacher has said during that that hour. What you can do is come down here and click on this Save Log button. And I'm going to go ahead and save this particular log because we don't have much in it. But I'm going to go ahead and save it as a Word file. And I'm going to save that to my desktop so I can easily find it. And we will just call it my meeting, let's see, notes. Okay. And so there we go. Let's get that spelt right. There we go. And now what I can do is go out here, and here is that document, my meeting notes. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And what we have here then is the transcript of what we've entered into that log. So now if you had this transcript running for the entire IEP meeting, you'd have these pages filled up with everything that is said. And in this case what we have is English to Spanish, and so I've put this as a descriptor on here. So here's the initial English phrase that was spoken, and here's the translation that was given. And for the reverse direction, then you'd see Spanish-English with the Spanish on top and the English translation underneath. With this then, what I can do is copy these items into the medical assistant forms, insurance forms, SPED forms, whatever you're using to document your meetings. And so the intention here is the ability to, number one, be able to save any transcripts, and number two, to be able to easily use those to document your meetings. And so let's jump over here to the configure, and again, lots of different features here. We've spoken about many of them. One that we haven't talked about is Acronym Expansion, and that's a very useful feature. So with Acronym Expansion, what you can do is, when this is clicked, is that it will automatically expand any acronym that you might use. So for example, I'm up here in Minnesota, and I might say something like, I'm going to the U of M. And so that particular acronym, U of M, may not mean anything to a family that's just moved here from Russia or something like that. And so with this button clicked, what's going to happen is when I say that sentence, I'm going to the U of M, it's going to automatically be expanded to I'm going to the University of Minnesota. And so again, the focus here with these language modules is to be able to communicate meaning. And if you can automatically expand that acronym, then the odds of that meaning being successfully communicated go up substantially. And so everybody has their own set of unique acronyms, and we certainly haven't entered all of them in here, and that's what this tab is all about. We do have just a little bit less than a million words that are entered into these systems, and a million is a lot, but to give you kind of a point of reference, when we first started deploying these systems, we were using right around 300,000 words, and that simply wasn't enough. People were getting frustrated that we weren't able to support their natural conversation. And so it has significantly increased, and you do need that amount of words in order to really just support conversational free speech. But at the same point, we don't know all the words that you use, all the acronyms, all the idioms, all the colloquialisms. And so with this composer page, you can easily enter those. A simple example would be, let's go beyond the U of M example. If I say I'm going to the U of M and I'm living here in Minneapolis, that means something probably quite different than, say, somebody living in Detroit or somebody living down in Florida. In Detroit, U of M means University of Michigan. Down in Florida, be University of Miami. So again, you have the ability to easily enter those definitions and do that on your own. You don't have to come to us and give us a contract and that kind of thing. Do it on your own and easily share that with all the other users. The Visualize tab, what this is all about is there's a saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And so again, with the focus on being able to enable communications, what you can do is bring up any sort of a website, any sort of picture document. So here, for example, is a school menu that happens to be in Spanish. And with this capability, what I can do is select color of a pen here, and I can write things and draw whatever I want to do. And so again, the whole focus here being able to facilitate communications and do that accurately. That's what part of this Visualize tab is all about. I'm going to jump over here to the Help tab next, and what you have here is the entire user manual in an electronic form. You can jump through this, do searches, and so I guess the last one I did happened to be voice commands. And so all these capabilities are built into the product, and obviously you can find out about them by reading that particular user guide. Let me jump down here to tutorial video. And so we're going to go ahead and launch that. And Microsoft is running its security check on me here. But what you have here is 10 chapters of video tutorials. Now, by far, most people are just going to start using Interact AS. They aren't going to read the manual. They aren't going to do any of the above. But let's say that you prefer to learn by watching a video. And that's what this is all about. So we take you from the quick start guide to an overview to some really advanced stuff. For example, hands-free interface here was designed predominantly for the military and police force. And so if you're in the military, odds are you're carrying a gun or a rifle, and you don't want to be carrying a computer in your hands. And so that's what that's all about. But let me just play one here real quick. I'll just do about 30 seconds of, let's just pick this one. And I'll let this run for, again, just a few seconds here so you can see it.
The language barrier by instantly translating conversations. This part of the tutorial will take you about 5 minutes to complete. It provides an overview of Interact's features, including how to navigate the interface. Interact has 5 main screens: User, Translate, Configure, Visualize, and Help. These are accessed by clicking on the icon.
So that gives you an idea of what that's all about. And again, by far, most people are just simply going to start using the product. But certainly the video tutorials and the user guide are there if you'd like to see them. And I'm also going to show you one more thing here, the show introductory video. And what this is all about is, let's say you have a family that comes up to the reception desk, the counter for the first time, and they obviously don't know anything about this product. And right now what I've loaded is this Spanish module. So this introductory video is going to be in Spanish, and it's going to give roughly about a 1-minute introduction to what this product is all about, so they know what you're doing in order to enable a conversation with them. So I'll go ahead and play this again for about 30 seconds or so.
Aunque no hablo español, nos podemos comunicar utilizando esta computadora. Cuando digo algo en mi idioma, la computadora lo traducirá a su idioma. Igualmente, cuando usted habla español, la computadora lo traducirá a mi idioma. Cuando es su turno de hablar, coloque el micrófono cerca de su boca hasta que usted termine de hablar. Si está usando un micrófono portátil, asegúrese que el interruptor está prendido. Hablen.
Sorry about that. Took me for a little while to scroll it over. But again, a very easy way to introduce people to this product and how you're going to be using that to communicate with them. And so with that, let me close out Interact AS here and jump over and go back to the PowerPoint presentation. And let's wrap up what we've been talking about here. So here's what we've demonstrated. And so in these series of videos, we started out talking about automated closed captioning software. So being able to use that in the classroom to generate a transcript of everything that the teacher may say. The second one that we started talking about is the ability of this product to let students that have difficulty typing or writing to ascribe answers to homework assignments and tests, that sort of thing. And also being able to use the software to read text out loud. And one thing I didn't point out, but I probably should, if you have a student that does have difficulty speaking, what they can do is obviously enter the text and use this program then to voice out their presentation. And so that's been done in several instances where they're doing, for example, a PowerPoint presentation, and they're using then this program to voice aloud the information associated with that presentation. In addition to that, we talked about how you can use this software to instantly translate conversations and documents. And notice here, I don't use the word replace your staff interpreters. Quite deliberately, we're talking about supplementing your staff interpreters. And so the software does a very good job at retaining the meaning of a sentence, but again, we're not claiming that we're going to have perfect grammar. If you're going to be in an IEP meeting, for example, that's going to be, what should I say, somewhat confrontational. You kind of know ahead of time when those meetings are going to occur. By all means, have your professional interpreter there. But on the other hand, if this is just a parent-teacher meeting where you're asking the parent to come in after class so you can have a conversation, by all means, it's going to work great for you. And also all those situations where a parent may come up to the desk, the parent doesn't speak English, but they're trying to pick up their child to take them to the dentist office, something like that. And so when you have that communication barrier, now you can use this software to overcome that. We talked a little bit about language learning, and in particular this new approach that gets beyond this fixed and rigid set sequence that you're locked into with something like Rosetta Stone or transparent language, where now the student can select the vocabulary that they want to learn and then immediately apply that. And with that immediate application, retention goes way up in the amount of time that it takes to learn a new language, be it somebody learning English or a native English speaker learning a second foreign language. That time that it takes to learn that language is significantly reduced. And we've also talked about reducing the time that you take on generating documentation. Bottom line here, with these products, certainly you can improve your services and at the same time significantly reduce your costs, which is certainly a win-win for everybody, but especially the student. That's been our predominant focus here, is being able to address the student's needs in a better and more efficient manner. So a lot of different reviews here of our products, and these are all done by independent associations, individuals and such. For example, in the upper right here, you have Law Enforcement Magazine, that out of the thousands of products they evaluate each year, they selected this product as being their #1 recommendation as a new product. And so, again, a little bit of an eye chart here, but definitely very strong reviews on how well these products work, and we're quite proud of those reviews. I promised I'd wrap up by giving you the contact information, and that's what we have here. And so by all means, feel free to give us a call at the numbers we show here, or send us an email, or check out our websites. And certainly, we look forward to hearing your suggestions, hearing your feedback, and of course, getting these tools in your hands so that you can use them to, again, reduce costs, but more importantly, be able to improve the services that we're able to provide to meet the needs of our students. Thanks so much for taking the time to view these videos, and with that, we'll close out this 8th and final section of the videotapes. Bye now.